From WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is ParksCenter. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of ParksCenter, or ParksCenter XL, I guess I should say. This is a double-length episode covering all the news from last week and this week. Since we were off, unfortunately, I had the flu. I really just couldn't do the show and didn't want to put all you at risk at home. Didn't want you catching it over the internet. Joining me on tonight's show, we have Allison.
Good evening, everyone.
Jill.
Hello.
Rob.
Greetings from the Tar Heel State.
And Tyler.
I'm unmuted. Siva Co!
Not with us yet, but probably will be with us for the second half of tonight's show. Is going to be Pete Carney to talk to us about Runaway Railway, Flower and Garden Festival, and all that fun stuff. But starting off tonight's show, we've got a discussion about Epcot. Specifically, Epcot has a new name. It is now Epcot.
Yes.
It's like someone taking a mask off and having their own face, and it's like, it was you all along!
Old Man Jenkins, let's see who it really was. Old Man Jenkins!
I'm happy
No, it's like that Bryan Cranston bit he did at Comic-Con that one year where he was wearing a mask of himself.
Do people even like with this name change? Like, I've watched TV shows where people now, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, SNL, when they make fun of Epcot, everyone still calls it Epcot Center because that was the name everyone remembered from like the 80s. Like, does anyone even know or care about the name change anymore?
Is that like people still call it MGM?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
like, literally, I was talking about Runaway Railway today, and my dad's like, "Oh, is that at MGM?" I mean, bless his heart, but like, people still call it that. I am happy to see that of logos revealed in the last year, Disney is now 1 for 2.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about the
agrees.
studio's logo.
So I totally get why they went with the Epcot thing before, because most people just knew it as Epcot. They didn't know the acronym Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. They just saw it as Epcot. So I get why they turned it from the capital E and lowercase to a word. And now turning it back, I think, is really more for the fanboys, the same people who are excited about the logos coming back and all those things. And when I say fanboys, I mean me. I like the fact that it's, all capital letters and supposed to be an acronym again. And, you get to hear the guy in the tram say, yeah, every person comes out tired, and all those fun things that they get to say because of the acronym. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a dumb thing to focus on, but I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I feel like they're throwing us a bone so that when they decimate everything else, we got something. There's some acknowledgement from the last 35, 40 years that there was a history here, right as we get rid of what is unique to Future World.
Gosh, it's just a tombstone at this point. Like, oh my gosh.
No, the tombstones are gone.
The tombstones are removed.
I walked right into that, didn't I?
You did.
We all had that same joke.
Walked right into those tombstones too. They were there, right in the way.
Oh, no. Everything's gone. It's all gone.
Well, you know what isn't gone? The Disney dining plan is still around, and it's got some new options.
New and improved.
Yeah. For those of you out there who do use this regularly, there's now a new option for the Disney dining plan. This new plan allows you to redeem your 2 meals each day in any combination of table service, quick service, or character dining. So probably just table service, character dining if you're trying to get the most money, most bang for your buck here. Also includes 2 snacks, a refillable mug, like all the normal stuff. And it also includes, now I'm not super familiar with the dining plan, but it does include a specialty non-alcoholic beverage, or if you're 21 and over, 1 beer, wine, or cocktail with your meal. Is that normal for the dining plan, or is that something that's actually kind of special here?
I think it used to be. typical, but
No,
I never. It never made sense to me to buy the dining plan, at least for the way that I do the parks. But I know it makes sense for a lot of people, or a lot of people just don't want to have to think about it. Want to have like the cruise-like experience where they're just not really dealing with money. I think like it's hard to really have the value out of it. So I like to do, like, I plan everything with my trips. I like to like crunch all the numbers beforehand, so it's never really made sense to me. But it used to be that you got like an appetizer, an entree, and an alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage with everything. And I think they've slowly taken away a lot of the bonuses from the dining plan.
I'm glad we all had the same reaction though, because I feel like I want somebody to explain to me why dining plan, because I get what you're saying, Allison, and I agree that's probably the reason people do it, so they can pay in advance for things. But the only time I've ever had the dining plan, it was part of the you get this free if you're buying your trip. But I mean, that's all rearranged in a way that they still make money, so it doesn't really matter. I just don't get it. Like at the end of that, we were shuffling around going, okay, make sure we spend all our snack credits and make sure we, spend all these, and can we afford another one of these? And you're going to eat that dessert because it's included, and we're going to get our money for it. I mean, it seems kind of ridiculous to me. And so, I mean, I get maybe somebody who's new and they don't know and they want to make sure they're covered. Or the only thing I can think of is you want to just pay for it all in advance. And, then, to Allison's point, you've budgeted and you want to pay for it all in advance. But dining plan in particular, that one's still a mystery to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like at least with this new version, it's possible to get your money's worth out of it. I mean, 2 table service meals a day plus snacks, but just like, can you imagine eating 2 table service meals a day every day? Like,
oh my gosh.
Or if one of them's like a
so
character buffet, like you just like you'll have to go back to your room and nap all the time. Like that's just, I don't know. It's a lot, but yeah, I've never ever done the dining plan. In past times, people have heard me rant extensively about how ridiculous I think it is. Because there's never a point at which, like, unless you want to eat constant like character buffets like twice a day, are you going to get any real value out of this?
I know people who would do that.
I love when they ask you, "Oh, are you on the dining plan?" and then you say no, and they go, "Phew, now we
really, right?"
Like, you're like, "Oh, good." I don't have to explain that to you. Okay, good. Let's have a real meal. What do you guys want?
I would love to ask like restaurant cast members, like, do people on the dining plan tend to tip worse than people paying outright? Because I feel like they probably do.
I'll believe that, yeah, because a lot of people think that you tip off the post-discount value, and that's not how this works.
Like they probably have no real sense of how much the meal costs, because they're just like, it's on the dining plan, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, moving on to somebody who I think would be able to fully utilize this premium Disney dining plan, Chewy. There we go, wrong. Chewy, I could definitely see eating up all this food. And you can also apparently now hear him when you ride Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, if you input the correct series of cheat codes, essentially, as the ride is as you're getting seated in the ride. This is kind of neat. I'm a fan of this. I think people might be a little overreacting to just like a little thing that they put in there, but it is a neat little detail. I think that like if you've ridden this a bunch of times, if you're getting on with a group of people who've all done this before and you're looking for something a little bit different, that they put an option in to make it something that's just kind of neat and fun.
Yeah,
I read that and I immediately thought of you, Ben.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's neat that they did it. Absolutely, that it's cool that they put it in, but it seems a little the fact that he's going to yell at you the whole time. If this was the only time I did it, and like everyone else in the group wanted to do it, I would hate that.
Yeah, I could see this getting really frustrating if people aren't cooperating for entering the codes at the start of the ride. Yeah. Yet another way that you can yell at your friends while playing Smuggler's Run.
Now, if you're Tom and you're there every single day and you want to just get some kind of new excitement out of it, then yeah, I think that's kind of a cool thing and a way to make it new and unique. But wouldn't you rather than make it new and unique by adding a randomizer and new missions? I would think.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
for sure.
That's something that I think they've talked about since the beginning. So if they're going to look for ways to make it cooler, I think they should do that. Or, maybe instead of Chewie yelling at you the whole time, maybe it was somebody else that actually had dialogue that could talk to you. That would be cool to me. The fact that Chewie's just yelling at you the whole time. I mean, I love me some Chewbacca, but like that seems like for the first couple of seconds, it's like, oh, cool, we did it, and then it's like, when is this going to end? So I mean, maybe if it had somebody else in there, like Rey,
get the Mandalorian.
Yeah, there you go. That
would be
been
interesting.
Awesome. Yeah,
and I've seen videos of people riding it when Chewie is being the person, not the person, the pilot, and every time that he goes, everyone in the car is like, wow! And I'm like, is it really that exciting? Like, you found the secret, cool, but like, it's just overzealous bloggers who are like, Disney, look at us, give us media passes, please. Like, it feels like that. But anyway, I certainly would like to know if Disney told people about it, or if somebody just through sheer determination found this kind of secret glitch thing. Or if Disney was like, we made a secret, can you find it? Here's the first 3 steps, figure out the rest. I wouldn't find it enjoyable that way. But if somebody just straight up discovered this by hearing the activation sounds before the ride starts, then that would be super interesting.
Yeah. Moving right along. Moving not particularly far, but I guess a little bit more unfortunate news than the previous story. There was a bit of a chemical spill over at Hollywood Studios on the 25th of February. This one almost snuck past the radar because of all of the other stories that also happened that we're about to get to just below. But I wanted to make sure that this got at least a little bit of attention, because you don't hear about something like this happening at Disney that often. Granted, nobody was hurt. It looks like this was just some bleaching agent, something that can also be used for water treatment, wastewater treatment and things like that. So not exactly the world's most hazardous chemical, but 255 gallons of anything that strong can cause problems, and it's great that nobody was injured as a result of this. But guys, come on, don't have industrial accidents.
We know.
It's not that hard, I don't think.
You shouldn't need us to tell you that.
Why am I here talking
reminds
this?
me of when I was training to be a cast member for my incredibly brief, maybe the briefest in history career as a cast member. But when I was at the Disney University and they're training everybody, the trainer said, raise your hand here if you'll be working with chemicals. And 3 people in this room of 50 raised their hands, and they were all going to be working in maintenance. And that made sense. And he was like, actually, all of you will be working with chemicals, because there are cleaning products and all these other things throughout pretty much every area, and so you need to know how to handle things properly, and there was a training on that. So I do know that they train people properly on how to handle these things, but something went terribly wrong.
Yeah, I believe the story said this was an equipment failure, so it that seems in line here with things that we've seen in terms of maintenance budgets and things like that this might happen, which is kind of, I think, the most terrifying part of this, that this could all just be because of maintenance budgets not being high enough.
Maybe it was an equipment failure hack.
Oh my gosh.
Like Chewie mode, but no? Okay.
Oh, I thought you
down,
meant a
down,
life hack.
spill.
I mean,
for all we know, a lid could have just popped off something.
I mean, yeah,
Not
that
by
is an
itself,
equipment
but-
failure.
Yeah.
The lid didn't stay on.
I'd like to go back to the part, Ben, where you said, just don't have accidents. Just don't have them. Just don't. Don't have accidents. Don't do it.
Hey, would recommend.
We know people spill things because there are no lids at Disney all the time.
Oh, that's... Oh my gosh, this is... Jeez.
Didn't oil spurt out of Tower of Terror a while ago?
I think that was a thing at one point, yeah.
I heard it was Buzzy's finger.
Oh.
Well, hopefully none of that starts happening to Spaceship Earth when they're trying to fix that up. Because coming up on May 26th, this was announced in essentially the same breath as the item below this one. Spaceship Earth is going to be closed. We've known for a while that there's going to be a refurb coming. Spaceship Earth, Our Shared Story is the current working title for this, and is where that more Disney, more family, more timeless, and more relevant quote comes from. This is... I'm hoping it's good. I hope that the Walt Disney World Adventure line or storyline or whatever it is that they have for this attraction ends up being good. But get in quick before it closes if you'd like Dame Judi Dench telling you to thank the Phoenicians.
So I appreciate that they gave us like 3 full months for this, first of all. And like,
That's fair.
I think it's funny because this isn't even shutting down. It's going down for a long-term refurb, yes, but like this is way more time than they gave us for Great Movie Ride or Universe of Energy, so that kind of makes me laugh. It's, I think, no secret to anyone that Spaceship Earth desperately needs some love, and this is a much-needed refurbishment. But yeah, I think everybody's gonna kind of be a little nervous of what it's gonna come back as. I will be very grateful that speaking of oil, the like oil smell inside of Spaceship Earth will hopefully be gone.
Yeah.
I'll be grateful that, you know, some of the really outdated stuff gets, you know, updated, but, and it's not like Judi Dench is anyone's favorite. I think, most of us are nostalgic for an earlier narrator of Spaceship Earth of one or other. But yeah, well, again, this is like treasured, beloved park icon ride. Please don't mess it up, Disney.
Yeah.
And speaking as someone who has ridden all 3,
yeah,
I don't know if anybody else is old enough to have ridden all 3.
Nice.
Just saying. I mean, I feel like it's kind of gone downhill each time. I mean, Jeremy Irons was very cool, but all of the animatronics and all the effects that they had in the first one, and the Tomorrow's Child song and Walter Cronkite, and I mean, it was just a solid attraction. And then the second layer of it with Jeremy Irons was kind of like, okay, this is a little bit cooler, but they've taken away some stuff. And then the third one, the one that's there now, it's just kind of like, to me, like the Figment attraction is now. It's like it's a shadow of what it used to be. So while I still love that it's Spaceship Earth and I still love to go on it and I don't hate it, I would love to see there be more stuff, especially on that descent where they're like, don't pay attention to the sides where we've covered stuff up. Just focus on this little screen with the Jib Jab video, and we're not doing anything over here. And there may be a space station still at the top under some tarps, but you don't need to worry about that either.
Oh my God.
It's just kind of a shell of what it used to be to me. And so I'm happy to see them fix it up, and I hope that they take everybody's like criticisms of it needs to be better and actually make it better. I feel like a lot of the things they've done recently have been upgrades. I think that Guardians Tower is an upgrade to what Tower of Terror was. I think that, you know, as much as that Jill would probably fight me on this, I think that Frozen is an upgrade from Maelstrom.
Yo.
Ooh.
False.
Ooh. Bold opinion.
There's no
Hot
world
take, right?
in which Frozen Ever After is better than Maelstrom. Actually,
Except
Tom
this
would
world.
agree with you. That makes me crazy that Tom agrees with that.
Yeah.
He thinks Frozen
It's a
Ever
better
After is better.
Well, it's talking about Tom. Let's talk about something that Tom certainly does not agree with.
Right.
We've been alluding to it for like the past 2 topics. Look at this. Like that's such a great picture.
Just the title over his like eyes in the top of that. I don't know. It's just scary.
It's like he's peeking through the words at you.
I swear, like you could edit that to have red eyes and it would work just perfectly, like Terminator everything.
Oh, that shouldn't be funny, but it is.
Hello, arigato.
So Mr. Robot Bob Chapek is now the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. It's happened. We traded one Bob for a new Bob. It's Disney. Why is this? Why do you think that this is a good idea?
Because money.
He's been there, but that's literally the only reason to put this man in this position is that he's been there for a while working on stuff. You haven't seen anything good out of him. You haven't seen anything revolutionary. The only thing you could possibly have seen out of him is an attempt to cut costs and generate profits at a better margin than his competitors. And that's not what this company is about.
That's unfortunately, Ben, that is what every company is about. And at the end of the day, Bob Chapek has brought in a ton of money to the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah.
And that's what they want him to do. It for some reason, and I'm not surprised by this in any way, but it gave me such an uncomfortable feeling when I read that, like, Iger was talking about how Chapek has been basically sort of like shadowing him and being groomed by him for a while now. And that just, I don't know, the two of them kind of like conspiring of what they're going to do just leaves me with a very uneasy feeling.
God. I just...
This is the stuff.
This is a very somber topic.
Mm-hmm. Nobody has anything positive to say about this, I think.
Like, I was about to say, Allison's been super quiet. She's been waiting for this moment.
No, I got even more stuff later. This is just, I'm just exasperated by this. Like, the moment it happened, I had so many of my friends who are not Disney fans, but who are fans of other things like Marvel and Star Wars and stuff, text me and be like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, this is basically an unmitigated disaster. This is the worst person you can put in charge of anything creative ever, and now he's going to hold the purse strings for all the creativity across the company. So whatever you like say goodbye to like quality creative like new products, and hello to we're not going to serve you bread anymore.
Oh my god.
Is that weird? Is that
that's a rumor that did not make the show, but it is something that's been circulating around that complimentary bread is going to be removed from the entirety of the Walt Disney World Resort. So that's first act in office. I'm killing your bread. Good grief.
I mean, I don't know if it's directly attributable, but it certainly is like you can imagine that this is like part of the philosophy and the ethos of this guy. It's just like, we're just going to nickel and dime you to death until you feel like you're getting no value here.
Mm-hmm. This is starting to feel like Les Mis, like our shop.
What? No, what? How?
Les Mis.
I smell a skit.
For a loaf of bread.
Oh. Okay.
Bob Chapek is Inspector Javert.
Oh my god.
I don't even... I remember when I heard this, like, I was like, oh god, that's it. Like,
yeah.
I feel like, okay, we certainly talk about Bob Chapek and have sock puppets on WDWNT and News Tonight, and I feel like all the changes and stuff that decisions that he has made have certainly warranted our frustrations, and hearing this news makes me fearful. I've been thinking, like, why are we like, we're always so like, a lot of us are negative, not everyone. I certainly am very negative towards a lot of the new things they've done. And I'm like, why am I here still, though? Like, why do I still... I have the appreciation for the stuff Walt built, Imagineers worked on, and the very few people who still uphold that legacy of those things, with the hope that those things will continue in some way. But then there's things like this, where it's like, we make money by doing stuff that people on the internet go, oh my god, I can't believe I created Star Wars Land. And I apologize for that impression. That's an actual video that exists, and I laughed very hard at it. But that's the person they're going for. And if they can make this thing cheaply and make money from it continuously, then let's give all the power to Bob Chapek. And
yeah.
Anywho,
just is accurate. Good.
And I think we still have some kind of hope for the future, though. Like, that there are still talented people who are going to make great things in this theme park.
There are still good people despite management. So here's hoping it works out anyways.
I'm just upset that Tyler laughed at my video.
Oh.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
All right.
That was a great way to... And more.
And more. There is a whole other second half to this show, folks. So thank you all for being here for the first half. Stick around. We'll be right back in just a moment with Park Center Part 2 for tonight.
You finished Bob Iger's wonderful masterclass, but now it's time to get your doctorate in Disney management.
Many people say that I suck, but you know what I always say? You can't spell success without suck.
Meet your new instructor.
One of the most important things for our company is that people connect with your product. But the key is everything is a product, and if they see it with their eyes, that's a connection. So everything I do connects people to our products. See how easy that is? We're connecting right now.
Join the chairman of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, Bob Chapek, as he teaches achieving profits and budget cutting.
You must ask the right questions to figure out what people want. Like, how much can we raise the price of an ice cream bar? Do people want to pay $7.99 for blue milk? Can I make you pay to throw away garbage? Can you fit the Avengers haphazardly into a park about California? The answer is yes, until it's no, and then I convince you that it's yes.
Join Mr. Chapek as he takes you inside his own personal business practices.
I'm going to cover a number of topics. How to cut the entertainment budget, how to cut the Imagineering budget, how to make shrimp gumbo, and I've got some amazing stories, like closing down the Great Movie Ride and definitely knowing when people weren't going to show up for Galaxy's Edge right away. I mean, I knew it. I told everybody.
Follow Bob as he discusses his strategic philosophies for excellent theme park management.
It's very simple. More Disney, more family, more shrimp gumbo. My name is Bob Chapek, and this is my masterclass.
Welcome back to part 2 of tonight's episode of Park Center. Joining us now for the rest of tonight's show. Hey Pete, how you doing?
Hey, sorry, I'm cleaning the props for tomorrow night. You can tell I was at Epcot today. Look at this.
Oh man. Oh gosh. Well, thank you for doing that for us. So it's going to be very handy for the second half of tonight's show. There's the topics for tonight's show. Let's kick things off in the second half here with some Galaxy's Edge talk, because, you know, it's not one of these shows until we talk Galaxy's Edge. And this time, we get to talk about the fact that my Disney experience is also bad. Like it is my favorite thing to mess on as a software developer. It is really, really cruddy software sometimes, and this one takes the cake because folks were allowed to get boarding groups for Rise of the Resistance on February 26th when they weren't even in the park. That is problematic. I don't know how this happened. I'm sorry, what was it?
It's not hard enough to get a boarding group already.
Yeah, really. Like, I am so curious how much this impacted the parks on that day. Like, because I am willing to bet that as soon as somebody figured it out and posted online about it, a bunch of people were trying to get there from like their hotel room, from the bus on the way over. Mm-hmm. Like, not to mention now, I'm sure people are trying it nonstop.
everyone in the park, when it happens, like, there's like a countdown. Everyone is excited. It happens. Like, you have 1 minute to go. Everyone's on their phones.
It's so stressful.
Yeah, there's anxiety and like anxious stress, and everyone links up. And then you try and you go, you refresh. All right, kill the app. You're on the Wi-Fi. I'm out on the Wi-Fi. Everyone go.
Don't be on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and then someone like next to you is like, I don't care. And they get like boarding group 8, and you're on like boarding group 99. Which I got boarding group 99 today. It's tough. It's really weird because like I know the algorithm I thought. And today I got boarding group 99. I used to get like 36, like 30 by itself, the number 6, 12, like all these like single digit boarding groups. And today I got 99. It's really weird. Like it's like really hard to explain like how frustrating that is because you're next to somebody who at the same exact time hits go and they get 6 and you get 99 sitting next to somebody right next to you.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's the bugs need to be fixed. I think there should be a better way. Now that Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway opened up, I feel like this should take some ease off of that, and maybe they can fix this system because that was the only thing going on.
I honestly don't think Mickey and Minnie opening up is going to make anything any better for Rise. I think if anything, it's just going to be one more thing that brings people to the park. But to be honest, like I think people have been showing up for Rise. I mean, we've been consistently monitoring when boarding groups run out, and it's within generally, I mean, sometimes minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes I can't remember how it's so infrequent that it lasts more than an hour. And I think that's going to continue to happen. And if anything, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is going to make it worse. But at the same time, I think it's just a different demographic. And the people that are trying to come and get on Rise in the morning are going to keep doing it no matter what else is open in the park or not.
And to clarify, our monitoring when we're watching that can't really tell the difference well between a confirmed boarding group and a backup boarding group. They look very similar. So when we're saying it takes an hour, we're saying an hour for everything, including backups.
Well,
I know when we've had people in the park, sometimes the confirmed groups will go in literally minutes, like single-digit minutes.
No. So, Ben, we were a backup boarding group at 99 today, and we were called at 1 o'clock.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, like sometimes you have a good day.
Yeah. Sometimes you have a day when things run smoothly.
The only thing that gets me about this was the story that we posted on the blog where they were talking about how dejected people were in the park that day. And I can't imagine all the people standing around the day that the glitch happened and that everybody was standing around thinking, I'm going to get on Rise. I got here early. And then like that just moan of like, it said that you could hear people crying, which, I mean, you guys talked about how stressful it is. I haven't been there for it. I've just seen video after video of how stressful this is. And it stresses me out thinking about trying to get there and get on and try to get a boarding group. But that to me, like just the devastating feeling that you got up, you got there early, you got in, and then you find out that you could have done it from your hotel room or even from Kansas. So
it's so stressful.
Well, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. I think if you do think that you're in denial. A few people were in denial here. They were in a boat on the Jungle Cruise and it sunk while they were on it. This is an actual picture of people clinging to the side of the boat for dear life. This is not animatronics. This is not a publicity stunt. I don't think it is. These are people in water.
Oh my goodness.
On the Jungle Cruise. Like, oh my gosh.
They didn't even pay for the Water Parks and More feature.
Oh.
That's for you, Ben. That's for you, buddy.
Oh gosh. So, and this, and of course, this boat was one of the wheelchair accessible boats. So, folks who need that. Oh my gosh! Look at that! Look at that! You're just.
That's what a boat sinking looks like.
Down, and early around. And sugar, we're going down, swinging. Oh, sorry.
That's my favorite song in the whole entire world.
I didn't even know it was that deep there.
I didn't either.
No,
I thought
the
this was
best
super
is,
shallow.
the best video is the Titanic music with people getting off of that boat. It is the greatest video I saw of the week. I don't know who did it, but the Titanic music with them trying to get off the boat with like people holding on is amazing.
I'm pretty sure that Pete texted me and said, "Why didn't we do this first?"
Oh no!
Yes, I texted Rob and I was like, "You are better." Like everyone should know. If you don't know this, Rob is our graphics guy. Rob and Tyler are amazing with graphics. Like it's not fair for the rest of the world because we have the two greatest graphic guys in the world. But
we dropped the ball.
It was so funny watching these people trying to get off a boat that was only like sinking. That river is 3 feet deep. It's like the worst. Yeah, but it's so funny to watch you like freaking out about the Jungle Cruise. It was amazing. This might have been my favorite news story of the last 10 years. It's so good. It's terrible. I'm not happy.
I mean, no one got hurt.
It's so fun to watch. I'll defer to everyone else.
Well, but just the timing though of like Bob Chapek starting the company, and then that was I think the hilarity was Chapek started, and this was like the first thing that happened was the Jungle Cruise boat sank, and there was sadness everywhere. It's Allison was talking about people like sending her texts about what did you think about Chapek. I got at least 3 texts about this thing when it happened because everybody was very quick to want to let me know that the boat sank. Yeah, so I mean, but just the timing is hilarious.
Like this week was a week.
This is an experience that's like, if this happens to you, it's almost like winning a lottery ticket because it's so amazing. It's such a great story. But if any of the water rides are gonna sink, I feel like the Jungle Cruise water is like. I would take pretty much any Disney water over the Jungle Cruise water. I'm not a big fan of Disney waters generally, but that one's a little.
They all run through all the attractions. You know that?
Splash Mountain
they all
water.
filter through all the parks. They all filter through all the parks, all the rides. It's kind of a ongoing stream. If you ever look that up, water runs through all 4 parks all the time. They all continually go. It's a whole big thing, but look it up one day. I don't want to talk about it now because I've been drinking a Food and Wine. Flower and Garden all day long.
The water's been flowing straight through there the whole day too.
Yeah, I've been awake since 4 a.m. I'm overtired and I had a ton of beverages today, so I'm trying to not talk. But you guys go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Every day for Pete is the Food and Wine Festival.
That's some murky, gross water.
Yes, it is.
Because, you can't get water to be brown like that without having particulate in it.
No, but keep in mind they color that water because you don't want to see the animatronics. That water is colored on purpose to keep it dark. You don't want to see the animatronics below. It's only at 3 feet deep, which is crazy.
Right. But you don't want to be
at that point, people should just walked out of the boat. I love that people are freaking out trying to get the 18 inches of water on their shoes. It was another 6 inches. You could hit the bottom of the lake. Just walk out of the river. This is my dream scenario. I wish I was on that boat. I wish I was the skipper on that boat. That would be my
my gosh, I would pay money to have you be the skipper on that boat.
Oh my god, please. That's my Make-A-Wish one day.
Oh gosh. Well, if you catch COVID-19, you might be able to get in on that Make-A-Wish action. I'm so sorry.
No,
I regret that transition immediately.
No. I believe it's called Wuhan 400.
I am relatively confident that most of our audience has heard about this at this point if you're watching live or close to live. If you're watching back historically, the coronavirus scare of 2020 was a bit of a problem. Tokyo Disney Resort at this point has announced that they are going to be closed until March 15th due to the coronavirus outbreak, just kind of as a preventative measure to help maintain or help prevent the spread of it, I should say. Disneyland Paris at this point closures might be possible. France did ban large gatherings in response to the coronavirus outbreak. However, Disneyland Paris at this point has come out and officially addressed these concerns, saying that they do not currently have a plan to close. At this point, both of the parks in China itself, Hong Kong and Shanghai, are closed, and I don't think we have any estimated reopening date on those parks at this point. I think it's once the flu has been taken care of, or not the flu, but the virus. And also this week, less big stories, but California and Florida both have taken some preventative measures as well, putting out more hand sanitizer at counter service locations and throughout the parks. And stating that they do plan on trying to remain open, but being committed to making sure that they keep the park clean and everything is sanitized so that the virus doesn't spread around the park.
The hand sanitizer isn't a bad idea anyway. Like they have in cruise ships before you go in, especially Disney cruise ships. I hear like you have to before you go into the dining area, they like force you to put hand sanitizer on, and they should probably just leave those stations up all the time anyway.
Guys, this is all right. I don't want to be rude, and you can cut me off at any point, but enough with the coronavirus. Why? I mean, I'm happy it's happening because people are finally washing their hands, but more people die. Like, it's a good thing, but I'm just happy. I'm just saying, like, but like we've lost. Yesterday, I believe, was like the worst day of the coronavirus. That we lost around 110 people to the coronavirus yesterday. However, yesterday we also lost 26,000 people to cancer, 24,000 people to heart disease, 4,300 people to diabetes. We lost 2,800 people to mosquito infected viruses. We lose more people to snakes per day. Like, there's so many things going on in the world. Wash your damn hands. Wash your face. Do the right thing. Be thankful.
Cover your mouth when you cough.
If you're sick, don't go out. Like, yeah.
To be honest, like, yes, this is a terrible virus, but this is the flu. We've all the flu kills more people than the flu of the coronavirus. I'm not being insensitive, and this is a terrible thing, and it's probably good for the world because maybe we'll all be a bit cleaner by washing our hands and face, but maybe this is a great reminder to take care of those around us, dealing with everyday stuff. Like, that kills more people than this virus any single day. So that's all I'm saying.
That's fair. Moment. I hope that you're right. The big concern here is just the fact that this spreads so much more rapidly than the flu, and we have no vaccine.
If you're washing your hands and you're covering your mouth and you're not in big public spaces, you're not spreading it.
Yeah, you can take some basic steps to help prevent this. Yeah.
Easiest thing to kill is just washing your damn hands. Like imagine a disease where like, well, we don't know how to cure it, but if everyone washed their hands, we're like, well, we're effed. We don't know what to do now.
I mean, like, have you been to a nerd convention? They really don't know what washing their hands. Trust me.
I read the reviews today for our flower and garden. We all shared food, 12 of us. If anyone's got it, we all got it now. That's it.
Well, rest in peace. No.
Yeah. Anyway, move on.
WWNT staff decimated by coronavirus.
Oh my gosh! Please, we don't need that.
I told everyone the cure. I didn't want to bring this up, but I'll tell everyone right now. This is official. This is for real. Tipsy Ducks in Love cures coronavirus. I'm just saying.
Take care of yourself, folks.
Nope, it's a real thing, and it's sold in China. Weird. At Epcot. Anyway,
speaking of things that are magical,
magic happens.
the Magic Happens parade. Let's just change tonal gears entirely here. This parade is I have not seen this yet. I have not watched the video all the way through, but I have heard from folks on staff that this is one of the better parades out there. Like, does this compare up with Spectro? Is it really that good?
No, whoa.
Well, don't get carried away.
Different.
Okay.
It's new, it's different. It doesn't look like a Spectrum Magic, and the Main Street Electrical Parade like had a particular look to them, and a feel to them with Spectrum Magic. But this is like it's different. It's new. The lighting effects are unique, something we haven't seen before, which is really cool. If you watch the video, the costuming is really great. The choreography is really great. This is not Disneyland phoning it in and putting in third grade like elementary school choreography again, as we've seen before. I've complained about before. That is not what this parade is. The float elements and like you see a lot of characters you don't see a lot. There's a mix of like new stuff and old stuff. I just feel like this is really the best of everything. Even the music I immediately liked. I immediately felt nostalgia, even though it was a new song.
It just looks so pretty. I mean, like it's gorgeous. Like you look at the floats and they're so pretty. I love that. I love that you start off with Mickey. I think that's cool and different compared to most parades tend to end with Mickey. So I think it's cool that he's out there and it's all Sorcerer's Apprentice and he's kind of like jazzing everybody up at the beginning of the parade. I love that there is Sword in the Stone, but my favorite thing about this is Pepita. Like I am like obsessed with the Maleficent float from the Magic Kingdom parade, and this gave me that vibe. I know he's different, he's not as grand a scale, but he's just so cool. And if you watch the video, watch for him, because like he's coming down the street and then like the wings open up and it's just that's the kind of thing that like just makes me fall in love with Disney parades. I never used to be a parade person, but some of the things I feel like they've been doing lately with things like, the Maleficent float, with oh my gosh, the Dreaming Up parade in Tokyo is insane. And I feel some elements of that in this, and that makes me really happy that there's a good parade in Disneyland.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've had like a really good parade get added to a park, I feel like.
I loved Paint the Night. Like
that's fair.
I don't know if you guys ever got to see that one, but Paint the Night was one that gave me those vibes too. I love the when will we see you again song playing. I just really liked seeing that one. It made me happy. It was like, and to Allison's point, it looked different. I mean, it had its own vibe to it. I really wished that one had come to the Magic Kingdom, because I think there was rumor about that at one point, and the thought was maybe the floats were too high. There was some reasoning behind it not coming, but I'm sad that one's not going on somewhere right now, because I think that's a really cool one.
Yeah. Moving to the Magic Kingdom. Speaking of, we have some very spooky news, in my opinion, for a multitude of reasons. Haunted Mansion is closed for several days. We don't know quite how long, and we don't know why.
Isn't that the point?
What is this? What are they doing?
This is my favorite news of all time. My favorite news is that you're closing the Haunted Mansion because you don't know why. This is the best news ever. I don't even care if it's fake. Like, I don't care if they know why. If you tell me we're trying to figure it out, we don't know what's going on in the Haunted Mansion, is the greatest news of all time. That's amazing. I want to just hang out. I want to be the first ride when it comes back, and it's like, oh, things may just fall from the ceiling. Things are not happening the way they should. This is exciting. I like this. I don't care. Like, first of all, it's an OG attraction. It should be breaking down, but this is exciting.
What were we saying in the beginning of the show about maintenance?
Oh, yeah, it comes back to that.
I mean, I will not be surprised if that's what the source of this closure is some sort of, could have been prevented with better maintenance. Especially, on an OG attraction. Like, it's old. Take care of that. Like, tender loving care.
Everything's old.
Yeah. I mean, if you do some digging into the article, it does say that the night before this closure, the ride was evac'd due to technical issues. So it's distinctly possible that they've crossed some breaking point where they need to fix all these technical problems before they can open it.
We heard
it's either
today
that
that
or
it was.
poltergeist.
Oh yeah, I like the poltergeist theory. That's
They found
We did
their
hear
thousand
there was-
ghosts, and now they can't let anyone else in.
we're
We
over
heard it was
capacity.
Omnivore.
We have 1,001.
Yeah,
we
it
can't
was-
do this.
We heard it was Omnivore issues today when we were out talking about it with the crew. But I mean, this is you can't have this down. This is a people eater at the Magic Kingdom. If this is down, like this is gonna really back things up around the Magic Kingdom. I don't want to bring up other bad things that could happen, but you need this ride open. Imagine Pirates being down. Like this is the second largest people eater behind Pirates. So like you need this ride running.
Yeah. I'm hoping it comes back quick.
Ironic that this and Jungle Cruise, two OG attractions, both down in the same period of time. Have we heard what caused Jungle Cruise? I mean, other than again, could be maintenance issues. But I mean, has anybody found
I think it was
exactly
the Chapek. It was the Chapek announcement that made that.
Sure.
It
sink.
just like
The boat was
what
so sad.
when
Everybody
the
take
skipper
care of
heard it, he just
Pirates,
shot the gun
please.
through the bottom of the boat and just.
If
said,
you
"Forget it."
look back at the timeline, he announced it, the boat sank, and end of story. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting though. You were talking about Pirates. Like, I feel like Pirates has been down for some lengthy refurbishments over the past few years. Not just when they took it down to add the Johnny Depp stuff, but I feel like it's been down for some lengthy refurbishments. I don't feel like I've heard lengthy refurbishments for Haunted Mansion or Jungle Cruise at all. Like even when they swap out it for Jingle Cruise, it's an overnight thing. So,
Right.
I mean, I'm surprised now thinking about it. I can't remember the last time the Haunted Mansion was down for extended maintenance.
I can't either. They
Kinda
might just
feels
be
like it
paying the
needs it.
piper at this point.
Yeah, let's take it down, put in the Hatbox Ghost, and get going. Or not.
Well, some things closed and some things open, I guess. We now have the entirety of Runaway Railway at our viewing pleasures.
I'm going to tell you everything.
No spoil. This means you, Pete. Read the bottom. No.
Oh, I'm going to tell you everything. I read it twice today.
I would love to hear your thoughts, but if you can try and not get into too many specifics about the experience from the pre-show through the attraction, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, here. All right, I'm joking around, but I'll let me focus. Okay, here's the deal. If you put this attraction in any other building on Disney property, I think a lot of people would love it. The fact that it's in the building that the great movie ride once occupied is really upsetting a lot of Disney fans. Let's talk about the ride. It's fun. It's different. It's new technology. It's very neat. It's very cute. It's very fun. I did it twice today. I rode it with Tom, our fearless leader, once today. And even he said, it was kind of fun-ish. I think he likes it. It's just the hard part for everyone to get over is that it replaced the great movie ride, which is the hardest part for everyone to digest.
Yeah.
It's a very unique ride. It's got a great song. It's got a good message. It's a fun ride. This will be a ride that sticks around for 30 years plus.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a new classic.
It's going to be one of those classics. Wow. And they do that 2.5D very well. There's weird parts. There's going to be parts people don't like. I already know what Jill's going to say when she rides it. I already know what Alex is going to say when she rides it. And I really just want to know what Rob says when he rides it. But I'm just saying,
Rob's going to love
it. It's a ride everyone will enjoy in some aspect a little bit. People will complain, but if you took Great Movie Ride out of it, if you took the building it was in out of it, it's a very fun ride. With that being said, it's in a very iconic building, so it's always going to be judged against that Great Movie Ride, which was, one of the greatest rides ever built.
Real quick, I am going to cut in. We do know, actually, what Tom's thoughts are on this. From his review, reliance on screens and audio animatronics make Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway just okay. So there is his opinion on the matter.
Yeah, I rode it with him the second time. Yeah, it is. I mean, again, first of all, Tom loved a Great Movie Ride more than anyone else in the entire world. So for him to say just okay is a huge compliment to this ride, in my opinion. Really good
way to frame
I think it's probably better than what he was expecting to feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's better than
and it was also super cool. I'll say this, is that I rode it very early in the morning, where you saw Kevin Rafferty and Sharita, and you saw Josh Tomorrow, who had, all these people were there. I got to take pictures with them, shake their hands when you get off the ride in the morning. They were very excited. It was a very cool experience early in the morning. It's going to be an iconic ride for 30 years, whether you like it or not. So. Wow. It's very cool. It'll be for adults and kids for a long time. There is cool effects. Again, spoilerless. I think this will be around for a long time. It's not the greatest thing you'll ever see, but it's worth being a headliner for the next 10 years.
That's fair.
FYI, Great Movie Ride was not even around for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's sad.
Almost.
That's sad.
Didn't quite make it.
Mm-hmm. 27, right? 28.
The thing is that this is going to be very easily updated. It's very screen heavy, and I hate screens, but this is the kind of blend I'm kind of okay with.
Watch that language, Pete.
No, it's like I'm at the cusp of it. Like this is as far as I'll allow. Anything more than this, I'm out, and everyone knows that. This is why I don't go to. This is why I don't like Universal. I don't like screens. I really don't. But this is a great blend of screens and physical sets, and I don't know what else to say. I don't want to spoil anything. But
Pete, I'm well aware that you don't like screens because your lack of sunscreen today was rather apparent.
I appreciate that.
Because you also spent the majority of today over at the Flower Garden Festival. Am I right?
Oh God. Keep in mind, I've been awake since 4 a.m. for the Kid Minnie's Runaway, and then reviewing food and drink all day at Flower and Garden. So this is what you're seeing right here. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even have most of the stories up on the website to show you folks yet about this because we've been working on this all day.
It's been a long day.
It has.
I've been awake since 4 a.m. and just doing reviews of rides and foods and drinks. Yes.
What's your first few rough thoughts of the festival?
Everyone is so sad for you for having to do that, Pete. By the way,
no.
I feel so bad for you.
I'm asking for no sympathy. I think I am completely blessed, and I'm thankful and grateful. I have the best life in the entire world, and I'm so grateful. I'm very blessed. Anyway, I would say, and this is weird for me, is outside of the World Showcase, Flavorful, which is on the walkway almost towards Refreshment Port and the new Starbucks. That booth had no misses. The salmon was insanely delicious. The vegetables were delicious if you're a vegan. The drinks were good. Everything was so good. Go to Flavorful. It is so amazing. Also, what else was big wins? Japan. Wow. I mean, Japan is so... I mean, I say this a lot. Japan and festivals really, goes above and beyond. Go check out Japan. They are so good. It was, again, amazing. Italy. You know what I'm going to say here. No one
Italy never has anything good. Why is Italy so cursed?
Why is Italy so bad? I don't know. I honestly, this has always ran in the back of my mind is why is Italy always so bad at every festival? And I'm convinced is that the restaurants want them to fail so hard that they're so full. The restaurants are so good. Tutto Gusto, Via Napoli. Unbelievable. So good. So delicious. But if you try anything in these foods, they taste like bad Midwestern Italian food. It is so bad.
So like Tony's.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Exactly. Other highlights, let me just think. Mexico is amazing. Oh, man, what else? Mexico. I mean, everything else, it was kind of just okay.
Did you get me a
That's
Spike
all
the
that came
Bee
off the top of my
sipper?
head. What?
Did you get me a Spike the Bee sipper? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I would have. I carried Tom's around all day in the back of my bag.
Sure.
My backpack, and I had 2 bags tied to the. Yeah, it was. Anyway. Yeah, it's a great festival. This is one of the better festivals. I will say this, is that I actually, my girlfriend called me halfway through the festival, and I said, the food this year is so much better than any other Flower and Garden Festival I've ever been to.
Wow.
So there's only a few misses. A lot of the food is so good, so well presented, I should say. Mm-hmm. And the flavors are amazing. So this is probably one of the better festivals they've done.
Nice.
Awesome.
Be sure to check out our website later on in the week. Once we've gotten a chance to write up our reviews of everything, we will have everything up there, well documented and easily accessible for you to look at and find all of those hits that we're talking about. If you want to head down and check out all of the Flower and Garden wonderfulness for yourselves, we highly recommend you go out and contact Never Grow Up Vacations, the official travel partner of WDWNT. They're an authorized Disney vacation planner whose focus is in making magic for their clients, and with over 20 years of experience booking Disney vacations, we're sure they can help you make your next trip even more magical. So head on over to wdwnt.travel to contact them about your next trip today. All right, folks, thank you for watching this. If you're watching live, you can check out WDW News Tonight tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and is every Thursday night. We record live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We do also normally have a post show for our Wigs members. Unfortunately, tonight's show was just so long we didn't have enough time to be able to fit that in. But thank you all for sticking around and joining us for this double-length episode. If you are interested in supporting this show or any of the other shows out there, we do have a Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/WDWNT. And for as little as $2 a month, you can get access to our post shows, the post shows for News Tonight, and a whole host of other benefits. So if you haven't checked that out yet, I highly recommend you do so. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show, folks. Thank you all for joining us for this XL edition of Park Center, and we will see you all next week.
See you, Rocco.
Bye.
I probably stopped drinking 12 hours.